All right, so have any of you guys watching this video ever been to prison? I surely would hope not. If you're watching this and you've been to prison, what do you have to do? What do you have to do to go to prison? I don't even know. Maybe like, could you go to prison for like stealing something? I mean, like, you would think you would go to jail, right? I mean, it depends. I guess it depends. If you steal like a Maybach, that's a lot different than stealing like a bag of chips. Anyway, point of this video is I found a video today called "The Most Painful Prison Deaths by a Talking Hat." I don't think I've ever reacted to a talking hat, so we're gonna check it out. The most painful prison deaths. I know a lot of people do die inside of prisons, which is quite tragic. So yeah, we're gonna check it out. Also, you guys may notice my desk is standing up now. I got a new desk, so now I can stand up and react to videos. So yeah, you guys are gonna get like a, I mean, I'm still gonna do ones where I sit down. I don't always feel like standing up, but I do want to, you know, kind of get in the habit of standing up instead of just sitting down and watching stuff. I feel like a slob. So yeah, we're gonna check out the worst prison deaths, and yeah, go check out my main channel, the gaming channel, the music channel, and the Discord, and all my socials and below. And this video will be down there as well. And yeah, let's check out the video, the worst prison deaths ever.
Teeth. You get booked into prison and the air...
The teeth incident.
Teeth.
What do you mean the teeth incident? Did somebody get bitten to death?
You get booked into prison and the air feels heavier the second that steel door slams shut behind you. The cuffs come off, but all eyes are still on you. You look left to right, only to see inmates sizing you up like wolves around a wounded deer.
Is that Diddy over there?
The first week you're in there, you're purely fresh meat. From getting shoved in chow lines to getting tripped...
That's what prison food looks like? Shit, let me go commit a crime real quick. That's what prison food looks like?
In the showers, you quickly find out that in prison showing weakness is an invitation to getting beat up.
Why does Diddy keep showing up?
So you stop. You start doing push-ups until your chest is on fire and burpees until your vision blurs. Anything heavy that you can get your hands on, you quickly start lifting. As usual, the fights keep on coming. But for once, you finally win. A few months later, people know your name. Inmates begin nodding at you in the yard. Gangs start sending some of their guys to your cell not to beat you up, but to rather invite you to their group. As usual, you stay solo, but the respect, that's yours now. You've earned it, and everybody recognizes it.
Respect?
It wasn't easy, but...
How much respect are you going to have as a one-man crew, though? I feel like in prison, you got to have, like, a group of guys, because, like, no matter how strong you are, you could get jumped by 7 scrawny dudes, and, you know, they can take everything you have, so it's like... Now, obviously, if you catch one of them off guard, then they ain't gonna want to fight. But I mean, I feel like you gotta have like a clique in jail, or maybe you could just be that one guy that everyone is cool with. I don't know. I've never been to jail or prison. I don't know how it
finally
works.
climb the ranks of approval inside of the prison. One night, you come back to your cell and you can't help but to feel that something's off. You look inside, only to find a scrawny newcomer sprawled out on the top of the bed. Your bed. You've been locked up long enough to know that what this man is doing is one of the biggest signs of disrespect.
And you beat his head in until there's nothing left of his body, like in existence.
Prison. But the man seems
sleeping on another man's bed.
Ignorant to the culture. He's half asleep with his head on your pillow, like he owns the place.
Hey, wake up.
Huh? Can't you see that I'm trying to catch some sleep?
Get the off my bed.
Man, it's too early for this. Just buzz off.
Everyone's watching. This is the biggest disrespect you've received in months, and you become enraged to a point where you finally decide enough's enough. You grab the scrawny man and rip him off your bunk bed, slamming him down to the floor in an instant. Without wasting a second, you begin swinging at him like it's no man's business. Inmates rush out from their cells and form a crowd between the
ground
two
and pound,
excited to see the fight take place. Your fists connect over and over, and cheers erupt around you from all types of prisoners. You lock him in a tight headlock, with your muscles bulging. He's flailing aimlessly, with snot and tears dripping from his eyes and nose. Gang leaders begin placing bets on who'll win the fight for fun, but it's obvious. You're winning easily. And then...
I mean, I think the guy that's trapped in a headlock's probably going to lose. He's got like 5 seconds left of consciousness before he passes out.
It happens. A pain so sharp and blinding that it doesn't feel real. You really don't want to look, but you look anyways in pure disbelief. It wasn't just a gut feeling, your brain was right. The dude is literally biting your nut. You scream like a
Whoa.
banshee. It's a sound you can't even recognize coming from yourself. But right now, you don't care. You begin to claw, punch, and bash on him. Unfortunately, however, you only find that the more you hit him, the harder the bite becomes. When you start to feel tissue rip,
Oh,
your
no.
punches turn into desperate pleas for him to stop. He doesn't listen. The crowd isn't cheering anymore, and even the veterans look sick. You begin begging for the guards to
Biting his ball sack.
intervene, but by the time they rush in and rip him off you, it's too late. You're found convulsing on the floor, unresponsive, with life-threatening injuries. Medical staff does their absolute best to save you, but you're broken in a way that can't be undone. This incident took place in Ghana during 2021. Both individuals got into an altercation that led to this shamelessly terrifying fight. The suspect that committed the crime was taken to court again, where he'd received judgment for his attack. Always remember to protect your jewels. The freezer incident.
I mean, I've heard like a lot of blood comes out of there. So,
On January 12th,
wow.
a 33-year-old man would be taken to the Walker County Jail, confused,
God
malnourished,
damn, I bet that hurt so bad. Getting your balls bitten off, ripped off.
and sick. His cousin had called for help, hoping that the police would bring an ambulance and give him medical assistance. However, the sheriff's deputies arrived to the scene first, and they reported that the man brandished a weapon and let off a round towards the officers before running into a forest. When they finally apprehended him, he was seen to be malnourished and in a state of total delirium, with his only comments being incoherent babbles about portals in hell. Instead of taking the man to the hospital, the
He's like the crazy
officers
Squidward.
would lock him in a cold booking cell and remove his clothes for whatever reason. From the moment the door clanged shut, the cold began eating at him. It seeped into his bones, turned his skin to goose flesh, and made his teeth chatter until his jaw ached. Each breath fogged in the air like it was Christmas night, and the man began shivering so violently that it hurt. An officer would state that this treatment
Like it was Christmas night. What does that
was
mean?
fitting, since the man fired a weapon at the officers. Some other jailers even said that the cops should have just fired at him, instead of bringing him back to the jail alive. Days passed without food, warmth, or medical treatment for his mental state, until one day he was finally taken out of the cell. However, it would be for anything but a good reason. Despite being in a freezing cold cell with temperatures that dropped below 30 degrees for nearly a week, officers still thought that these conditions were too comfortable for him. To the man's complete horror, they wanted to lock him in the jail's kitchen freezer. They would rip him out of his cell and tase him so violently that he'd lose his dentures in the process. With his wrists and ankles shackled, they would throw the man in a metal restraint chair, tie him down, and leave him in the freezer. The air inside was biting. Any ounce of heat his body may have maintained before was sapped
Where did this happen?
instantly. His body burned with fever, then chilled again, as if it couldn't decide whether to fight or surrender. The hum of the refrigeration unit filled the silence.
Yeah, bro. He's a mummy now.
His fingers stiffened, his lips turned blue, and the man froze with every second in that chair, feeling like hours. When they moved him back to the holding cell, the floor was littered with trash. He lay there motionless, ribs showing, breath shallow. A nurse appeared briefly, stood at the doorway, then turned off the light and left him in darkness. Guards passed his cell, some stopping to look, others just walking by. Not one brought him clothes. After enduring 2 weeks of pure horror, the officers took him to a hospital. A human's normal body temp is supposed to be about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. But when they brought him in, he was only breathing 2 breaths per minute with a pulse that was nearly
2
non-existent.
breaths a minute. Bro, he's got to be like 30. He's like 30 degrees. 2 breaths a minute. That is insane. That's like the type of breath you have when you're about to die. Like that's what I've heard. Like people that are like about like on the hospital bed about to die. They're breathing like 3-4 breaths a minute. 2 breaths a minute. Jesus Christ. Could you even do that? Okay, like I'm gonna breathe once. Now you telling me I can't breathe again for the rest of this minute? Like no, absolutely not.
And his body temperature shockingly read 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
72 degrees.
Doctors tried to warm him up and did their absolute best to push his body back from the edge.
He's
But
dead.
sadly enough, it was too late. In the official report,
He's dead.
officers would lie and say that he was completely fine when he left the jail, and that hypothermia is what caused this outcome. But in truth, they froze him alive. Thankfully, 10 jail staff members would all be tried and charged in relation to this incident.
There's no way this happened, bro. This was in America? What the hell?
Let situations like these encourage you to know the law and your rights as a civilian
Froze him?
well. And also, let it serve as a reminder for people like you and I to refuse to look the other way whenever those in power treat humans with cruelty. Napalm. First, you do enough favors from
That's
other
sad,
prisoners
bro.
for them to buy you some peanut butter from the commissary. Then you
Hey, it's a fire album right there. Die lit.
eat up the peanut butter and lick the jar clean and keep it concealed. After that, you steal some sugar from the jail's kitchen and strong cleaning materials like bleach or ammonia. Once you've got all your materials, head back to the kitchen and bribe the prisoner working kitchen duty to have access to stove and pots inside.
Astroworld.
Then, quickly cook yourself some boiling hot water and slowly pour it into your peanut butter jar so that it doesn't melt and warp the container. Finally, sneak the boiling hot water back to your cell and mix the rest of your ingredients inside of it. And when you see your enemy sitting down to eat his lunch, attack.
Like acid, yeah, just melt his face off. Aw, man, you could have let him enjoy the Burger King.
And when you see your enemy sitting down to eat his lunch,
That looks really good. I need to go to Burger King more. I've been trying a lot of new places recently. I need to go back to Burger King.
attack.
I just probably have to DoorDash it. I don't want to go inside of a Burger King. I feel like that's so depressing. It's never anyone in there. But the drive-thru is always packed, though.
This concoction is called prison napalm, and it's one of the most dangerous yet common weapons used within US prisons. This horrific mixture
What if they threw
splashes
that on like the prison guard and it like melted his like radio so he couldn't even call?
onto you and sticks to your skin while burning the living hell out of your body. It's difficult to get off, and it keeps on burning you long after the attack is over because of its stickiness, hence why it's called prison napalm. In August 2013, a 24-year-old man would be sentenced to 20 years of prison for mistakenly targeting an innocent young girl in an act of violence that would tragically be the cause of her passing. With the community absolutely in
I like how he blurred her face, but I can still just see her face.
violence that would tragically
You could have
be the
blurred it a
cause
little
of her
bit more.
passing. With the community absolutely enraged about this, people outside of the prison would put a $13,000 bounty on his head for the prisoners to deal away with him. After a series of unsuccessful attacks, the man would be placed in a protection cell with 2 other inmates. But horrifically enough, at around 11 p.m., the man would
And they killed
prepare
him.
to go to bed when one of the inmates in the cell quickly pinned him down to the floor, while the other magically revealed a steaming hot concoction of, yep, you guessed it,
Wow.
prison napalm. What
Wow.
makes this case terrifying is that
He-
the men didn't just throw and splash
He held him down. They just put it all over his
the
face.
napalm on him, like how it's normally supposed to be used. They began slowly pouring the boiling hot liquid down his throat, causing severe injury to the man's internals. Afterwards, they poured the rest of it on his face, eyes, lips, and ears. Officers would quickly intervene, but upon glimpse of the man, they would report that he bared a horrifyingly similar resemblance to a real-life zombie. So, with that being said,
Wow.
stay in school, follow
Yeah, stay out of prison. That's
your
the message
passions,
there.
and please, for the love
Jesus
of all that's
Christ.
good, don't end up in jail. Have a happy day.
Oh yes, some cute dogs to look at. Well, I just learned about somebody who got melted with acid in prison. Well, that was a good video, guys. If there's nothing that should tell you to stay out of jail, this video definitely is a good advocacy. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your favorite part was. I wouldn't say favorite part. Let me know what the most tragic part was in your opinion. Probably the acid melting this guy's face. Trying to imagine like the acid going down his throat and melting it all. Like, whew, that sounds terrible. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go check out my other channels. This video will be linked down below. And until next time, peace out.